All right, guys, welcome back to the final day of the regular season of PEL. And actually, we've got something brought up to us really quite interesting about the winner of that last game. And this is why you guys at home are absolutely brilliant, by the way. Shout out to you, Sniper Ash. You know, we've got another analyst out there basically bringing us the info. And you said something quite interesting about this too. Yeah,
I mean, the fact is, like, I was surprised when G2 came into it and took FaZe down because my brain hadn't even collected where they were because they weren't playing together. They had, I think his NELLOZ was up in Los Leones, on the edge of Los Leones. CrywCrowd was completely, literally the other side, 180, the other side of the circle, down deep south past Na'Vi and ENCE. And Braexco was almost where Reciprocity were. It was they were in a three-way split. It was bonkers. It was it's
very unique.
What did Gustav say? It's just G2. It's just the way G2 are. They don't really have a style you can mimic, and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. That would almost look like a... I mean, you could talk about whether they were looking at a hard shift on the circle or what, but I really don't actually know, because they ordinarily would pull up on the edge of Los Leones. N47 were there, so that didn't happen for them.
Yep. Who
are looking very cool and calm on your screen there, but yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. I mean, how do you strategize that as an analyst? It's just like, guys, we're going to split up across the map on Phase 2, and I want one of you in each sort of north, south, east, west position.
Guess you're hedging your bets, right? I mean, yeah, it's a very unique way of playing, and not many people can do it. And so is being able to play in those glasses. Very unique way of playing.
To be fair, CrowCrowd screwed up. CrowCrowd should have won that game.
Yeah,
they screwed up. They got double knocked by NELLOZ, and as NELLOZ said, he managed to get the knock and do a 180 and get the second knock. So fair play, skilled play, worked out well for him. Are we going to see the Legion stepping it up? Who knows? McAnark alongside him. Fex looking very happy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're very happy because of the results from teams like this. Raise Your Edge, for example, bowed out very early on in that game.
3 points yesterday. 3 points. They
so
are the lowest point scorer overall over Super Week.
Yeah, so overall, you're looking at it if your GamerLegion is, okay, that wasn't our best performance, but that's, again, an okay step. We're keeping out of relegation. And that's what everyone's fighting for now, is to keep away from that. That bottom 4, 5, 6 teams, they're pretty close. As I said, 1 big, 2, 3 big games, and you're looking like you could really threaten other teams here. And that's why I couldn't help but look at DA's performances. If they're going to be that involved and actually frag out as well as look for placement, that's when they are really fighting for the jump up. I think they're maybe 21 points behind now. They were 30.
21 points behind Knights, but there's still relegation. It's 27, I think it is. 436 is what the Knights
there are 5 to go.
Rise down.
There are 5 games to go today with the extra game today. So if they keep up performances like this, they're closing the gap. And that's what I like to see. I like to see teams looking like they're fighting for it.
And the difference is between the teams is you know that DA have a chance to get placement points because they'll always, one of those 5 games will send it and get it in that center point. You know, it pays off for them almost daily. It is a tactic that is quite unique and it works out for them. I still, to this day, I don't figure out how they managed to get like 3 or 4 people alive when they just send it at like Phase 3. But it works out for them. But here we go. As the desk pointed out, it is the final map of Miramar for the year for the PEL season. We will, of course, have the promos in 2 weeks' time, but this is where all the big 16 teams play that have been fighting it out in the PUBG European League all season long.
Let's find out who's up for it this time again. And you know what? I actually really liked hearing those team comms from Liquid there. And even in all of that madness right at the end, I think it was the one on
Chill.
when it was the Na'Vi CrowCrowd game, and it was in that really strong compound in the west. Even just having the thought to always call out, 1 left, but just because it keeps you very focused on knowing what's happening and having those overarching voices coming in, it was really impressive that they were able to keep those comms up in those high pressure moments. And you need someone who's got that cool head about them to make those very informed calls.
I think chill was the key word. I'm going to chill. Chill. I love the fact that it's like, go left, I'm chill. It's like, you don't sound very chill. I don't think you quite understand the use of the word.
Literally used to have a bind in COD 4. In COD 4
what's going on down south here, by the way? What's going on? What is this? G2 to ENCE, Raise Your Edge?
G2 are
what
their
is
own
happening?
Creatures. We don't look at G2 like a normal team. They do whatever they want. It just, no one knows what they're doing.
Where's
raise your age of going to prison.
Okay, there
Just
you are.
why not? But no, it's, you know, you used to have binds in games that used to be keep it chilled, spam it out. Because honestly, it's a weird thing, but it does bring you back a little bit of focus sometimes, just to be able to kind of say that.
Lots of that's the Call of Duty 4 in you. That is from the old Pro Mod days. All the binds that used to come out then, and you get a frag and stuff like that. Oh my word!
They were team binds. Don't worry, no one else saw those. But it was the old keep it chilled binds, which is it's good. It's a nice reminder, and it keeps people focused on the game. That one left. Yeah, you peek, you lose was my favorite, but that was still always my bind that I stick to. Is you peek, you lose, all misspelt incorrectly.
Yeah.
So everyone used to get really annoyed by it because they'd try and correct you on one, but they'd realize that, you know, peak was spelled wrong and lose was spelled wrong. Ah, it's just beautiful. You can really, really tell people. Let's have a look at the circle, though. Heading right over towards that FaZe-looking compound, isn't it? It's looking nice for a Drayden right nearby. The Knights, this is the one. You've got to step up here. This is your game to try and deliver on. What is
this is obviously with G2 dropping. He's got nothing. With 2 minutes 30, still not got a single piece of loot. I think I'm gonna maybe submit a form to PUBG Corp to have their tag changed, because simply put, oh dear. Well, we were talking about G2's weird spread. They've been caught out. M47. This was actually over to the southeast side. Yeah, so Braexco is well away from the rest of his team. They're caught out.
It's such a strange split.
Ever since they've had the EZ4, they've done terrible.
They have. It has been pretty shambolic for them. Overall, standing-wise, FaZe still looking pretty good here. Still at the top. Liquid on the heels. Not too close by yet, though, but they're on the move themselves out of Picado now.
Yeah, they didn't really gain too much from that last game. Got a few points from it, but not the big point chase they're looking towards. Of course, still a long way to go. We'll see how it works out for them. Obviously, this circle favouring FaZe Clan. Fuzzface is in the standard compound. I expect to see the rest of FaZe collapsing too. Drayden also in the same compound, just outside the fields of Pozo. So standard positions, center points for this circle. It's a circle we've seen, trained, practiced. We've practice cast it, you know, because it's been played out so many times, this phase.
Yeah, it's a very common circle now. I think a lot of the teams know how they want to rotate around this. This should be one of the games, excluding the southern side of teams, because it's just a weird spread. I'd say everyone else should know their way around this and how they want to approach it. We'll see if anyone set up any sort of camps, any sort of unique plays. But beyond that, I think this should be par for the course.
I like the fact GamerLegion have gone up straight through the middle of Team Liquid and actually almost jumped ahead of them. Team Liquid are still kind of in this weird wide spread. They tend to play down the hill from Power Grid and then shift up to the dip by Power Grid if they get away with it, but I don't think that's going to happen. GamerLegion have read that well and sort of jumped the gun on them. The Knights are going to stick with a 2-2, I think, either side, actually going with the 3-1. There's two compounds that split that road, and they're kind of just edging the bets on which side the circle may pull. Of course, we could still go way up north into La Cabrera sort of area around the crater, etc. So still a lot of land mass, but DESPERADO, SIMSY clearly took a knock there of some variety, a bit of a hit, not a knock, not the right phrase I'm using, because that would mean he went down, but it was a hit blip. Ibby just leaving Picado, so this is a bit of a weird one for Liquid here.
Yeah, I don't know if Ibby was just really unlucky on loot or why he's playing so late off this. That might be the case. SIMSY there, got a bit of attention earlier. That could have been from SIMSY too, Car 98 to hand. Trying to get some pressure on, and again, mind it, Ibby's about to come flying in as well. He's the one off in the distance. That tracer fire is pretty far away, isn't it?
Just a bit of warning shots onto TomiL there. Here in a bike, that was SIMSY just repositioning. That crate, don't know whether FaZe will find that one. I think we might see it coming into play more in the next circle shift than this current one, unless ubah decides to make a run over to it. So Nip choosing for the Valley. I mean, that is the other area, right? Goes in towards Death Valley.
Can do. Opting for it early as well. G2 and ENCE, this is just a horrible battle in the south. It's very unpleasant in the fact that no one's going to make it out easy from this. Yannis has got this old M16 with a red dot on it. It's, you know what I mean? Like, you look at it and just thinking, no one's happy with that loot.
No. This is ChrizZ's position around the side with the minis worked out. It's secured points. And ENCE, well, I'm afraid you boys are going to be playing in 2 weeks' time in the relegations. 12 teams await them. There's some big teams, big names in there as well. So I'm expecting the promotions to be pretty tightly contested. 4-day affair, that will be. N47 with Digital Athletics down low. FaZe, I was about to say, he's about to get hit here. I can see that Tracer Fire getting closer from 6mo. And T-Bone, oof, just got away with it.
Yeah, and these guys are pretty far out as well. They're not, they're in the
circle,
but they're super far away.
Yeah.
So again, we've had some really weird scuffles now on the outskirts of this map. Obviously, that G2 battle is one of them, and that's a little bit more curious too, just very far in the south. N47 sending Page off, maybe saying, all right, let's actually start looking late game here. Let's look beyond what's just in front of us. And again, GamerLegion, nice little position they managed to pick up just to the southwest of Power Grid. As you said, they might have maybe skipped a little ahead of Team Liquid, but Liquid seem happy enough. They've got a bit of a split themselves going on. FaZe in traditional position. This is kind of as expected, if I'm honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in the center point. It's almost tried and tested, as we say. CrowCrowd have got the hill, so TSM would favor that. You can see TSM gone for this spread instead around the valley area, just covering off if it does pull up to the north eastern side. So still a long time. ENCE have decided to back away from the rest of G2. And it's just these two teams down south waiting to get in the circle.
Yeah, weird game so far, at least on the outskirts, right? That's the weird thing for me, is it's just a little strange. But we will see where the circle goes. This is where it gets fun. This is where teams can have their, nose put out of place if it does go a little bit skew-if. But for now, I'm just looking across the board. We might see knocks here or there, because it is quite compact about, that FaZe compound. There's a lot of teams looking for it, and that's a pull-up. Vazku. Jemty's there, and he's made noise, so it's not subtle. He's letting Vazku know, hey, buddy, you're not alone.
Looking for an underhand, thinking he's going to get pressured, and he is. If he doesn't turn around, look out the window. Someone's coming. There we go. T-Bone pulling in. He's got support arriving as well. Ibby's just come across. That's going to be a little underhand nade out the back. Banks it off the corner. That's going straight towards T-Bone. Doesn't catch him, goes into the building. Ivor coming in as well. Second nade goes out from Jemty. He's got one answered straight to him. He's decided to maybe push it out the window. 3 members N47. Jeems now looking to come across. He's repositioned to get an angle on the back side of the building. So N47 can't push that side, and Ibby's nade finds one.
And that's really well needed. Jemty needed some help on this. He's got the support on the certain angles. Jemty now reigns in the fire. That barrel does well, but it doesn't do well enough to get the kills. But here comes the pressure back. Vazku's still trying to hold the front side of this compound.
Quickly going to get in. Can he get the revive off in time? I'm not too sure. Jemty this time is going to go onto the roof. That is a big play. He's going to just get a peek around the side here. They're not going to be waiting for it. Get a quick gun down. That barrel could do some serious work. And Jemty, absolute monster plays from the lad. Vazku gets one down, but it's quickly answered, and N47 are gone.
Goiby's barely alive, though, isn't he? Any fire coming in, he's in a bit of danger. They want Jemty back up, though, and I don't blame him after that sort of performance. Did eventually get knocked, but the damage he did was just... You couldn't recover from it. Southern circle shift here, moving everyone slightly further down south. Aitzy's
been finished and gone, so he's left by FaZe Clan. They've abandoned that. I think ubah, oh no, ubah's there, maybe trying to get him back on his feet, so he will get recovered. But now you look at that fight for the compound there for Team Liquid, and it actually kind of works out because kind of almost central point. And look at DA, almost around that central point. This circle shift has worked out for them.
That's a big hit out of the car. You're pretty miffed about that one, I think. But they actually do get him back on his feet. Aitzy's been recovered.
Yep,
so ubah got him back up. And it's going to be Fuzzface and mxey looking further forward. CrowCrowd not too far behind them, should I say. And you look centralized. GamerLegion, DA, and Liquid hold the kind of, I guess, the trifecta.
And look at that
central area.
Look at the wide spread they've just gone to. So they've obviously they were 4 in a compound a moment ago. They just fought off N47, and they've instantly spread their wings quickly. Samty goes up the hills. Jemty stays in around that compound. Jeems goes to the next compound down the road at the crossroads. This is actually almost, I would say, a phase 2 circle that we used to see quite regularly around this sort of roadside area outside of Picado. So we'll see. Obviously, we did have one on Thursday, was it? When Gustav got the 9 kills outside of Picado. So totally possible that he could pull down that way.
He could do. Everyone's going to have to keep that in mind now. Already reciprocity on that road by Picado. You've got TSM very far out as well. They're going for a very long play on this. FaZe battling the blue and trying to find a safe way in, as the rest of their team is split up as well from them, so they're not as that 4-pack rolling around. CrowCrowd deciding to cut in a little bit earlier than FaZe here on the west. They could be looking for that slow playing towards Raise Your Edge if they decide to go up that road.
TSM are doing almost identical rotation to what they did when they won that game. And as of reciprocity, the only difference is that NELLOZ is in the compound. This is all south of Picado, what I'm talking about here. They've gone for this big long rotate around Picado and down the south side. G2 did similar last time, but obviously with their drop down south, it's put them very much out of position. They've got this weird spread once again. You know, we can obviously Braexco's gone, but Yannis is almost at SAMT around the center. CrzyZZ is separated on his own. NELLOZ is completely the other side of the road, no way to support each other. We'll see if it works out for them like it did in the previous match.
Yeah, and also bear in mind, it could still look a little north. The power grid's not out of possibility. Na'Vi's still up there, the Knight's still up there.
That would be a big yoink if it goes up there.
Yeah, a lot of teams have banked on it going south here. If it does go back north, so many teams are screwed. That's the big one. That's what can happen here. Look how many are just on that southern quarter. You know, Liquid, G2, ENCE, 7, Raise Your Edge, CrowCrowd, FaZe, Reciprocity to a lesser degree. It's a big chunk. Let's see where this goes. And whoop, inside. Back we go, boys.
Oh my God. That's okay. All right, everybody, back in your cars. Let's go back north, back to the compounds you've just left. FaZe's compound wide open on the road. Desperados might find that one. The Knights prime position. Yeah,
they just roll off the hill. They're happy with that one. Liquid pulling everyone back together maybe to get ready for this hit. And it seems like whenever the circle kind of does make those bigger adjustments or it puts Liquid in maybe a contested place, they do like to pull their players back in, and I like that. That's a really good response. 7 not too far away. They're going to get fire from across the road. That could be from Knights or GamerLegion. And everyone's trying to pile into this. Tiikzu on the reload just as 60 goes past. And Raise Your Edge. No, already losing on 60 again.
They were close. FaZe are passing by them as well. Timmy's there. Fuzz and mxey. That's a slow pull-up from mxey. Going for Timmy. Gets himself the kill. May well go for the flush he has. He realized that CrowCrowd are a long way from this one and will flush out the points on a finished brother.
Now the nade could come back in. Nookie's not far from this, but I like it. He knew that most of Timmy's bullets went towards Fuzzface in the car, so there'd be a limited time on the amount of bullets left to be able to fight him. Really good mentality from mxey. The bullets in the wall, though, you can see that was a desperate spray.
I'm going to point out, obviously, FaZe, you wouldn't ordinarily go for this. This is clearly a big play. mxey saw it, obviously, how it's going to work out, and they are at the top of the table, quite secure at the moment.
Yeah, they are certainly safe. Knights finding 6mo there. That's a flush as well. DA sending it right past them. Huge moves from DA. And mxey finds NOOKIE too.
That's
what is going on?
Massive points for the Knights, that is. They want all they can get from this one. ABeautflDeath does get knocked and finished off. And the Knights trying to secure themselves. DA are the team that was 21 points behind them. They may be able to get Mert down here as well. He's down to nothing. Mitraleius looks like he's on his shed. Mert's going to get the heal off, but I'm still not sure he's going to get to that shack in time.
No, I don't know. And this is only the Knights. There could be more. Mert makes the final dash. And he's in. Shut the door. Shut that damn door.
So Na'Vi have gone for a really greedy spread in this next circle, obviously based on the fact they will still are up in the north.
Cool. BeSTOLOSH.
He's driving straight up to 3 FaZe members. BeSTOLOSH is not going to be long in this world.
No, I don't think he knows it either. He seems to be looking the other way, and he might have heard steps now because ubah and Aitzy are pretty close by. BeSTOLOSH is in danger.
He's got the van as well he's just drove up with.
Yeah, that's
not going to work out.
Big misread from BeSTOLOSH or whoever called for him to go out there. It was a nice idea to get the land grab on it, but, you know, practically speaking, not going to happen. mxey finally gets punished.
Revenge from Tiikzu. Yeah, and they were way out, still in the blue, still at the ladder. Easy for me to say. TSM have gone into the power grid. NIP are in their usual building up here. They've just left it. And they are in the open. Does Michael know? Does he see? Does he hear? Don't think so. Don't think he's aware of it. Where do we go? Is he going to yoink up to power grid again? No. It goes to the FaZe's compound. So Desperados managed to get back in there. And that was the compound FaZe Clan were in. They decided to rotate south. They are on that hillside, though, and that's a strong position still up on the hills. Raise Your Edge is going to try and challenge them up there. Go for those little shacks just outside the hill area. Team Liquid sending it into the fields. This is not good territory.
No, it's not, but I guess that's the best they can do here. I don't think they're going to make it through anywhere further towards Monte Nuevo. So you can see the Desperados put 2 more of their chess pieces on the board, put them in towards the compound that FaZe so often takes. FaZe left relegated towards the hillside. Not exactly what they want, but it's what you're going to get. NIP, TSM, they're on the move. G2 not G2. Well, yeah, it is G2. And Reciprocity and GamerLegion very close by.
It's a brazen spread from FaZe as well. Now with that kill down, that's some big points for GamerLegion instantly as they get Reciprocity caught out. ENCE will finish off CrowCrowd. There was 2 members remaining. That was down in Monte Nuevo. So GamerLegion collecting points, which is needed when the Knights have just collected a few themselves. Razor Edge are the team that's still lacking. They have a relatively decent position, though, for this circle as it stands. We could, of course, see it pull away. TSM, they're pulling up on Na'Vi in the north. PUBG, the only man there, has got cover fire from Aduzi up on the hills. And, well, FaZe Clan also laying the cover fire down from the side position, which is why you see Michael getting himself a knock. PUBG, they go for the peak.
Yeah, PUBG needs to buy time. He needs to do something to try and stay alive for himself. The rest are on the way, but he's got the whole of TSM at his door. The dead nade does help out. It buys him a couple of seconds here. Where is the support going to come from, though?
Oh, he's going to get a peek around the side. Did Rory see him?
Aduzi's there.
I think Rory maybe saw him. Yeah, Aduzi's coming charging down. He's looking for more kills. Still at the top of that table. G2 does not work out for them, by the way. They've gone down to NIP. Over on the eastern side, I should tell you, can see it in the picture-in-picture. Reciprocity, GamerLegion and NIP all clashing outside the power grid.
Well, they've made it past. That's a big nade from Aduzi to find Iroh. PUBG takes the timing now to try and make a mad dash out of there. Has to try and readjust position, because otherwise he was done for. This
is a battle between 3rd and 4th, and one that TSM look to be losing at the moment. It's not really working out for them. FaZe took down Michael. Aduzi's nade. Looks like Iroh. Are they going to try and revive him? No. Tries to get a peek, and Rory got knocked in the process by Ultrastar. And that's not great for them. So Gustav, now the last man standing, is going to try and hold the door. Pre-fire onto PUBG. They're going to go for the peek, the double angle round. And they will get it down. So Na'Vi taking 4 members. Well, technically they took 2 members of TSM out because they got helped. Bjorn's in trouble.
Yeah, Bjorn's in a lot of trouble. You can see the Serpentine coming through. Shiv does get a shot through towards him. Nice tags coming out from GamerLegion, though. That's really big work to try and get those initial headshots. They are under fire from the backside, though.
It's the Knights that got the knock, and instantly they're looking up the hill to try and get it because they realise that is GamerLegion, which since the instant they saw the knock there, all of the Knights turned around to look towards this hill and try and punish them as best they can with the blue pushing on their backs.
Yeah, time to run. Shiv's in a world of trouble. Here's GamerLegion to the left, NIP to the right, and the Knights further in front, and it's a mad grab on who gets the points for it. And it looks like it was Hamster in the end.
How quick are they going to be to react? There's Wanted. He's instantly got up there, gets Hamster down. GamerLegion turn. They know they're in a fight with one of their points chasers, but NIP instead will massacre them the second they come over the brow of the hill. And Mac and Dark and Bjorn, the last 2 standing, looking down towards Drayden, looking down towards anyone, but the blue is going to do the job for them.
Yeah, poor loot in the end as well. Just bandages there. Bjorn does go down. Mert's going to try and yoink that one. Mac and Dark trying to stay alive. He might be able to get a couple of seconds, but it's not worth giving these points to the Knights, even though you're going down in like 11.
It's 5-kill game, though. They've got 5 points from it, so we'll see how it works out. The Knights, of course, have picked up a few as well. Razor Edge on the move. The circle has pulled very much to the other side of the road. It's unusual. We see it going this way, but FaZe Clan instantly sending for the ditch. Razor Edge across. Desperado still yet to make the move. They chose to hang it out and try and get the kills, but it hasn't worked out. And now they're going to have to make a horrible run over this open road.
They are, and Liquid are making a run now. Jeems is already in, but it looks like they're looking for something else. Samty, Ibby,
7?
Gemty, where are they heading off to?
They have just seen 7 engaged in a fight. Now there's a knock coming in there. The nades are coming down. We're looking towards Razor Edge. They've just been called out. Coldamenta goes down. He did get Mert in the process, but Mert's got Mitraleius to revive him. Just off the side, he's burning, he's burning. He's going to be safe, I think. I think he's going to be able to survive it. Yeah, just about hangs on. Is anyone coming in? Lynx is coming in, yeah.
Yeah, Mitraleius needs to get ready for this one. He knows he's in danger. He's had fire from mxey the whole time as well. Mert's made it in, so there's a revive here. And actually, by proxy of safety from the Desperados, he might be kept safe in that little shack.
The Knights have actually got a knockdown onto Buster as well, so that's going to be finished off. They've managed to get Ibby knocked as the same. So the Knights are looking to gain a lot of points in this one. That's not good for Razor Edge, who are down to 2 already. FaZe now challenging PUBG, catching him off guard. Sadovnik with a spray down, ENCE done.
Huge nade as well, keep in mind. Sadovnik just basically went 1v3 against ENCE. That was really nicely done with the support of a tree. They had to make the play for sure. They had to make the push, but you could have hoped for a little bit more there. SIMSY down to a flash, banking that finds mxey.
Sprays. Yeah, look at the smokes. I mean, the problem is this was the problem with Desperados not moving from that compound along with Razor Edge and FaZe. As soon as they come dashing out the hills, they probably should look to do the same. But the fact is now, because they didn't, they got to run into Razor Edge. Now, while mxey is one of the few players there, that was a good flash. I actually caught him. It's going to be a horrible push going across the street. I don't know if there's too many looking their way, though, as Senya sees all of NIP.
Yeah, big info being found here, and NIP none the wiser. Now they will be. Spray from Senya does connect towards Miraku, but you still have plenty of players you could put pressure on towards Na'Vi, but this little ridgeline is actually quite nice for them.
We're seeing more and more mollies used, aren't we? It's getting very commonplace now. I love it. Getting to see a bit more utility in there. PokeMolodoy joins him. Aduzi's still hanging back, so he's going to be looking to get involved up on the hillside. Still trying to keep cover on FaZe Clan. Menox was taken down in the process, so Lynxy now the last man standing for Razor Edge. They've still got a big fat 0 from this game as well in the top 10. As the Knights and Team Liquid now have to move. The South Shrink is going to pull away from them, so they have to make their way up north. Knights can back away. They can go up towards Makandak and into the hills. Team Liquid, it's going to be a tough run.
Yeah, there's nothing easy for Liquid here, and they're already being found by Sadovnik, who's having a huge game individually, just popping off. Finding them is going to make it very tricky for Liquid to get out of here quickly. He's just going to slow them down, and that's the last thing they wanted for this.
Yeah, it's not too surprising. I mean, Sadovnik is a fantastic player. He used to be in Na'Vi. There was a reason Na'Vi picked him up as a player originally. It just didn't work out for them in Phase 1, though. And now will get taken down. Commentator's curse, whatever you prefer. As Gemty gets the headshot on him. Now they're looking towards the Knights. The Knights for themselves are on the move.
Yeah, Knights looking for their way out. They're going to send it right towards the foot of the hill, over towards the NIP side here. Makandar can probably see that one. Drayden's made it, so the call can be made that, hey, we can at least come towards this if we need to.
This is a circle we had at the Grand Slam, right? I believe it was, with the Rumblers versus Na'Vi.
Yeah, I think
I seem to remember.
The hillside looks
yeah,
similar.
the hillside. And Knights are actually, NIP and the Knights are kind of in the position that Na'Vi were in when they won the game last time in that matchup against the Rumblers. Senya, though, doing some work from that hillside. NIP losing another once again to a knock. This time they're going to try and smoke it out. I don't think they have an angle to finish him.
No,
they found Makandak in the hill.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, Liquid sending it down south. Mitraleius gets one, but Desperados are right on them.
Yeah, it's who gets these points for it. Mitraleius is popping up against the Desperados, and the swift little pick up there for Znark towards Jeems in the end. That was a flush on both, actually, for the Knights, so they're getting points for this. This is a big battle for the Knights. They got 4 alive. This could be the game they were looking for, finally.
They got 2 Desperados down, I think it was in that. No, one. One managed to get 1 down. So they're still in this shack. I don't know what sort of nades Desperados have, because they've used so much smokes to get across the road and into this position. They might be a little low on utils. And DA have the shack to play from, which is going to be very tricky for them to push unless they have still a nade.
Reels is right behind NIP here. He's about to get an angle on them pretty soon, I'm almost certain
They're backing into the ditch. Yeah, they're backing right into them.
Wanted. There we go. It's going to be an absolute slaughter in the valley. The Knights mopping it up.
The points for the Knights are big. Drayden caught out. He goes down. Aduzi also caught out by Wanted, so quickly answered back. 6 kills and counting for Na'Vi. But it's the Knights that are looking to benefit from this with DA on their backs.
Yeah, and honestly, out of all the teams, the Knights could really do with a big game here. GamerLegion are probably sweating bullets now. It's like, oh, wait. We've got someone else turning up. Uh-oh, that's going to be a big race for the end.
The game that's sweating, but the team that's sweating bullets right now is Razor Edge.
Yeah,
because they've had 0 once again from this game.
Yeah, you're right.
DA are picking up another, what, 4 or 5 kills
wait, hold
at
on.
least.
FaZe are moving in towards Na'Vi. Ubah from the low ground catches up PokeMolodoy. I think Na'Vi standing is only Senya here. I'm pretty sure Aduzi already was knocked yet. There's the flush from Fuzzface. And Ubah's hunting, man. He wants that kill on Senya.
Yeah, he's the last man up on the hillside. Trying to back away from this one. FaZe looking to try and sweep out. They know that if they get him down, they've got the entire northern side of the circle to themselves. Desperado still making moves on DA down south, trying to get the flank around. You can see them in the picture-in-picture there. Mertner's got outside this shack to try and give a little bit better of an angle. Senya finds the shot, but can't quite finish it. Sheer firepower in the end, winning the day.
Yeah, this could be the end of DA now. The Knights are above them, Desperados below them. Desperados need to make a move towards them, though. This ridgeline can only keep them safe for so long. And you can see that smoke. Yeah, they're putting it up now. They know there's pressure from above. I think the hillside might just be keeping them safe, but if the Knights overextend, but the Knights need to worry about FaZe now.
Yeah.
That's their bigger threat.
Yeah, they've just turned their attention FaZe's way. Ubah's catching shots on Wanted down to nothing. 8 kills and counting for FaZe Clan. Looking to extend their lead over Team Liquid in that #1 spot. And really take it by storm, it seems. This will push them to, I think, nearly close to 40 points ahead, maybe, which with just 4 games remaining is a monster lead for the Phase 2 champions, the Grand Slam champions. Will they be Phase 3 champions? Back-to-back would be beautiful.
Yeah, Znark's getting closer down that hillside. SIMSY trying to land the big shot. If he gets it, that's a big knock as well. That could be go time for them. It's a bit of a standoff between FaZe and Desperados, and the Knights actually turn attention towards DA.
Yeah. But Desperados have sort of flanked away from them and pulled away, so it is down to Pittsburgh Knights to try and catch them, and they know that Shack is out of position. The nades are just rolling up to it, but they know we're not going to get anything in there. DA will flank down. They're going to go low, and they're trying to flank around in towards the backside of Desperados. It's not as open as they wanted, and it's going to be 1-for-1. Wanted an Ultra collecting the kills.
Yeah, 4th spot, not bad, but you're looking for a little bit more here, and we are down to 3 teams. We have the Knights in the south, FaZe in the northeast, and the Desperados in the west. And you can see the Knights trying to split themselves up here, trying to cover as much ground and make sure they get some vision on this, some control. But it's a big no man's land in the middle now.
A 3v3v3. You love to see it at this stage. Fuzzface was trying to get a flank around, but instantly was shot at by Reels, so not being as sneaky as he wants. Whoa. But the circle goes to FaZe Clan.
Poor old Desperados, time to fight the Knights.
Yeah.
That's what you got to get ready for. It's you got to be able to manage what's in front of you and see who's the best challenge for you to take. And it looks like probably the best option for the Desperados is that. I don't think the low ground runs around the other side. So again, we'll see what the Knights do here. What's their option? They've got to know the team. Okay, well the team in the southern side's probably likely to push towards us. How do we deal with it?
Aitzy's got an open angle onto TomiL. Took a lot of damage and instantly sees all the members of Desperados looking their way. The Kar 98 shot just flashes past. But now Desperados is making the push. Snark's the man up close and personal to try and keep them at bay. Reels is going to get an angle in a second. Snark unable to find the headshot that he was looking
FaZe
for.
will push this. FaZe are looking like they want to push it as well. I like what Wanted and Reels are doing. They're kind of leaving Snark to die here. He's delivering though, which is so surprising because the right move for FaZe is to crunch down towards the Knights as soon as they engage towards the Desperados. But I feel like the Knights might be aware of this. Snark just needs to buy time if he can.
They've just left Snark to it. Yeah, he's the man that's just going to keep them at bay. SIMSY's going to try and get up and get the revive. He knows he got a hit on him, which means Reels has come around to cover him off. They can't quite push onto ubah, so Aitzy's going to get the revive back on ubah. So we may well be back to a full-on 3v3v3.
Yeah, Snark's going looking though. He wants a bit of this, doesn't he?
Look at TomiL. TomiL's gone to the crate. He's got an angle up to the crate.
Yeah, TomiL's found some room. Reels covers them off. And there's the 2 shut down. That's going to be the Knights delivering on the southern front. FaZe are dying to get involved in this. But do they know where TomiL is? Surely with that sort of HP, they've got to have worked it out.
That's 11 kills for the Knights. Big points. Raise your edge. They're in danger of slipping into relegation. They have slipped into relegation. The question is, can DA catch them now? Because they're getting closer and closer. But the Knights, this is a massive performance. It may put them back above GamerLegion. As you said earlier on, if they can collect a win here, it'd be huge. But they've got to go against the champions, FaZe Clan, looking for Reels.
Huge info found by Fuzzface. That's 2 players noted. They know exactly where they are. FaZe hold the line here, and they still have an aid there. That could be big. Coming out from Aitzy. Oh, and Reels is in a world of trouble. Aitzy is just going to find him, line him up, knock him down, and all these nades are working well. TomiL is just going to be staying dead quiet.
Aitzy's got 4 nades in his bag. Wanted finds first. That's a big knock coming around. Wanted gets a second. Oh, ubah strikes. Gets them down. TomiL from the back, though. We're into a 1v1v1. TomiL versus Aitzy, and that's going to be Desperados gone. Sorry, the Knights gone.
Yep. TomiL's got the car. TomiL, are you mad?
No,
what are you up to?
What are you doing?
He's actually made it to the rock. Oh, my word. Okay, Aitzy, how good are your nades? That could roll right to the lap of TomiL. That could be job done. No, he stays alive for a second
He's got 3 more. He's got 3 more.
Oh my word, TomiL, no meds left either. He is down to 22 HP. All he's got is the tick of the stim. That's it. And the nades, every time he nades, he's peeking that ridgeline, keep in mind. TomiL's closer to the circle center. I would say that.
Yeah. Aitzy has to leave his position of cover. Fuzz finished off. 1 more nade.
This better be big, Aitzy.
That looks like it's banked well. It's going to bounce around the side. Remember, there was no health. Yeah, TomiL gets caught out. Nicely played by Aitzy, and FaZe Clan get a 22-point game, stretch their lead at the top, and they may well just start etching their name on that trophy.
Feels like they won't have to let go of it for long. That felt like the vibe at the start of the day, and it feels like it might be the case here, but really well played at the end. They handled the pressure well from both sides. Got to say, though, the Knights, big pressure from them. They really went off.
I think it was definitely a 10 kill. I'm pretty sure it was like 11 or 12 kill game.
Definitely.
A 3rd place for them as well, so 4 points to go with it. So an 18 point, something like that, maybe, I don't know, maybe 16. Depends how many kills it was confirmed in the end. But let's hear from Parla with the potential champions of Phase 3.
There is the potential for that indeed. I'm going to jump on board with Aitzy. Talk me through that 1v1 at the end against TomiL.
So I knew I had a lot of utility. I have got like 6 smokes and 3 nades, so I just used my smokes to have some cover, and then I tried to like predict my nades so they would like bounce behind the rock and the car.
Yeah, and then the final one hit. Was it a big relief when that happened?
Yeah, if I didn't hit that nade, I was like, I didn't have that much confidence, to be honest.
Well, good work on the play. Fuzzface and mxey, the final circle, definitely swung in favor of you guys. Was that also a moment where you started feeling a bit more confidence?
Yeah, I mean, the final, it was technically the fight with Na'Vi, when we saw one knock from Na'Vi, and then when we cleared out that side, at that point we felt pretty confident.
And mxey, getting a win right at the start here, our final game on Miramar, second of the day, that must be very, very good for you and your team in terms of knowing that's going to extend your lead on the leaderboard.
Yeah, obviously it brings more confidence for us, but even now if we have more points to lead, we don't think about the points, we just play one game by time, and then end of the day we see if we won or not.
And ubah, at one point in the match I saw you engaging with some Russian comrades in Na'Vi. What was that like?
It felt amazing, actually. I mean, we got like really good position when we killed them. Like, it's nice that they got knocked and we managed to take the ground.
Tactics aside, is it extra satisfying to beat people from your country?
I don't know, actually. I'm not thinking about it when I'm playing. I mean, yeah, sure.
Well, congratulations, guys. You get the second chicken dinner of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, FaZe doing a great job of extending their first place lead. Let's head back to the desk.
FaZe making it hard to argue against a potential back-to-back FaZe winners here from Phase 2 to Phase 3, of course, after getting themselves a chicken dinner here on Miramar. That now means they are 4-time Chicken Dinner World Tour owners, as they have the 4 wins on Miramar and then 5 on the other 2, so we can't get the 5-time as you were mentioning to me just before, but still, massive feat from them.
I mean, that just shows how consistent, how good they are, not just on one map, but on all of the maps overall.
Let's take a look at the highlights coming in here from our final Miramar game of Phase 3, of course. And a little bit back and forth here. Knight had a blinder of a game, Avenger.
I think it was the magic of those lollipops that they're eating, because wow, that was amazing. Good to see from them. This is going to push them far away from relegation. Yeah. Taking over both GamerLegion and Ratio Edge. Really good to see from them. This is the kind of style I want to see from them, though. What I was really sad to see, though, was managed to knock ubah, and they didn't capitalize on it properly. If you get one of the, if not the best player in the world knocked and get it down to a 3 versus 2 situation, I wouldn't mind what was happening with Desperados. I would just straight up push them, making sure that they could have capitalized on that. Unfortunate, but yeah.
I think the problem was that they didn't really know where the other 2 players were, and they were afraid that if they were doing the rush, they would have gotten peaked straight away and got taken out, and they didn't want to risk that. But even though they had a good game, it's not time to relax yet. There is still 4 games to go. You can't start relaxing now.
Still work to do. I mean, even for FaZe Clan, there's still work to do, to be honest. They've just got to continue holding on to the current lead that they do have here as they're able to take down Raise Your Edge. Once again, Raise Your Edge having a bit of a ball ache of a game. But Pittsburgh Knights were racking up the kill. How many did Pittsburgh Knights have? 10 kills or so?
They had...
something like that?
It's going to be a 15-plus point game for them, I think. Yeah. So it's good to see FaZe Clan as well. A massive amount of kills. Desperados, yes, 5 kills I think that he's going to end on, or is it 6 for the team? Plus the second place, that's 12 points. Also really good for them. They were kind of in the danger zone if they didn't have a good game, like a good day overall today with 6 games. But this is going to push them far away.
My only wish is that for the final of Phase 3, we get to see Big Head Wanted on the kill leaders. But we're not going to get to see Big Head Wanted. We're just going to see Wanted.
We're going to see Wanted, yeah.
So 0 points for Raise Your Edge, Reciprocity, and TSM. TSM has not had the best couple of days of gameplay, to say the least. However, of course, they're guaranteed for PGC now. We take a look through our 1 through 8 up towards the top. FaZe Clan 22 big smackaroonies up at the top, and Pittsburgh Knights 16 points with 11 kills.
I mean, it was looking a little bit grim for FaZe Clan there a little bit. We're talking about Circle 2. When they started rotating from the north side, they went far out on the west side. They wanted to go on the south because they thought the Circle would go down there, but no. The Circle decided to stay on the north side. not just once, but twice as well. And I mean, they went back up there, they utilized that, they capitalized on it, they knew nobody else was there, so it was kind of easy for them.
Managing to do that, honestly, considering how far away they were and how rough of a shift it was, managing to get a game like this and turning it around with 3 guys alive towards the end was really surprising. mxey did take a few guys down trying, but doing it with 3 guys from the start is really impressive.
That is a big lead. FaZe is now capitalized on up towards the top there against Team Liquid. However, definitely not done by any stretch of the imagination. And Pittsburgh Knights up to 11th place now with the amount of points that they are able to accrue from that game. That's a big move for them.
Big move, and right now, raise your edge. I mean, 0 points so far. They had 3 points yesterday. This is not the way they want to go down on.
And with 12 points for Desperado as well, it's going to be a 26-point lead down to Pittsburgh Knights. Good to see from those guys. They're pretty much safe from relegation zone, I would say, unless something insane happened for both Ratio Edge, GamerLegion, and Knights to take them over. But looks really good. Reciprocity a bit quiet. They can still make it up to Ninjas in Pajamas, though, if they have a 24-point plus on top of what Ninjas in Pajamas can get today.
A really good point, though, because they're absolutely looking to get in the money for top 8, right?
I'm going to put it out right now. Reciprocity, they have nothing to lose right now. They're not going to go down to relegation.
No, correct.
There's 0 chance. There's one team in the way for them to get to top 8 right now. That is NIP. You got to stop them. You have nothing to lose.
So you may as well just go at them.
Exactly. Go straight for them, straight away.
Here's what we do, though. Like, let's be honest. We theorize about these things every last day of every phase for every tournament we've ever done, and it's so much fun, but it never happens.
Well,
I want it.
This is one of the chances where they have, they actually have nothing to lose at all.
Go kill him.
Just go for NIP.
Go kill him.
And on top of that, with FaZe Clan, with this win here, with 4 more games to go, Liquid has to do something similar because they have a massive cushion down to TSM as well.
Yeah.
So if they want to win this, they have to do something in the last few games against FaZe. Either a setup, a hot drop, something else. FaZe Clan could also do the opposite, but the last time we saw that, that was FaZe Clan hot dropping Cloud9 at PGL Fall 2018, like where they had a massive cushion down to the 3rd place.
Yeah.
It was the only chance for them to win. Like, I don't see that happening again. And there's the final game as well, like the absolute final game. So
I just had a fleeting thought. Next map is going to be Sandhawk. Imagine if NIP, it comes full circle. We go back to Ruins fights. If Reciprocity went down there against
or
NIP.
if Desperados went there as well, they're also pretty safe right now. So if Desperado, they're like, you know what, boys, we're here to take back our spot, you know?
Yeah.
At this moment, NIP doesn't have anything to lose, so they're just going to fight them. Like, yeah.
Reciprocity knows that NIP will be going Ruins. That's 100%. We all know that.
Yes.
Now, going out from Ruins, when you need to leave Ruins, it's pretty harsh. It's pretty open. If you're Reciprocity, you go around Ruins. You loot all the compounds around it, and you set up an ambush. You start crippling them straight away.
For me, the problem is, though, like, the amount of loot there is in Ruins, you're going to be done looting before that. You can go to another of these like compounds around and get to the rocks. Unless you loot the bells, like really hardcore.
You could
cheeky.
Loot the bells.
You don't want to go too close so they see the parachute.
But still, the loot around Ruins is just too bad compared to how good it is inside Ruins.
I mean, what you could do is even pull the parachute a little bit early, because if you do that, it might be a slight chance the NIP won't be looking upwards when they're parachuting, and they will miss your parachutes. You will see exactly where they will land as well.
And then they cut their parachute, and then he started punching him from the air down towards him like a Superman punch.
This isn't a movie, all right? Like, what the? All right, anyway,
dreaming.
guys, we're done. All this theorizing is not going to happen, unfortunately.
What if it does?
If it does, brilliant. I'll be so happy. We're going to go to a short break, ladies and gentlemen, and when we return, it's our final game of Sandhawk for Phase 3. See you in a few moments. Hopefully there's some cool drops. We'll see you.